This is patch 091, and we have something new introduced to the game. We have a hybrid modifier as a bow prefix. This is base critical strike chance and base, I guess not base, but base critical strike chance and bow attack speed. I love it. Love that it's in the game. We've been chatting live on Twitch chat all about what's the next modifier that they could add in the game that's hybrid. What could they like? They could do endurance and maybe endurance threshold as a hybrid affix. So that's the conversation that we're having. And it reminded me of a conversation, or maybe a rant, or maybe a YouTube video that I've been meaning to create and talk about right here with you. And that is, what can we do with exalted modifiers that are kind of boring? What can we do with exalted modifiers that don't don't really have much value to them? And my biggest example, and where my brain always starts when I think about this with exalted modifiers that you're not excited about, is resistance. So what if you have a item with exalted fire res on it? Exalted fire res, it's going to cap all of your fire res, but you probably have elemental res some on your character. Or maybe you have fire res as these Solarium boots that you're using. You don't need 75 fire res or 75 physical res from one item. There are use cases for that. If you're going to use like the boots that give you negative 75 like physical resistance, you can put more phys res on them. I understand that. But by and large, when you pick up an item and it has exalted fire res on it, it's kind of boring. And what could we do if we wanted to make those more exciting? And I think the answer comes into an item or an affix that looks like this, these hybrid modifiers. What if hybrid modifiers became a thing once you got to an exalted affix? So for example, you have, like what's a good example here? Maybe let's go back to resistances, because that's a very easy example. What if your tier 5 void res was, up to 45 void resistance, and your tier 6 void res was up to 60 void res and less void damage taken? All of a sudden, you're interested in potentially stacking up exalted void res modifiers, because you don't really need more than 75 res. There's no benefit to that unless you're getting cursed with something, unless you're getting void shred, but you can always just cleanse those as well. So I think having less void damage taken or less fire damage taken for fire resistance would be a neat way of making those exalted modifiers more interesting. Other kinds of things that you could do, you have a suffix on a weapon that has like stun chance on it. What if there was a stun chance, and then if you got it exalted, stun duration? All of a sudden, you're like, okay, maybe tier 5 is not good, but tier 6, that's a pretty cool, pretty impactful way of getting some extra defense / CC onto your character. You could have chill and chill duration, things along that with the extra affixes. You could have things, I'm reading off my list. Ooh, I took notes for this video here. What about, there's an affix for chill enemies. This one might be too strong, but you could have more damage per stack of chill. We have items like that in the game already on the new unique item Osirian, the unique ring. It has more damage per stack of shock on an enemy. If you wanted to crank up what these modifiers look like, you could have more damage per stack of ailment up to a cap of 10 for like something like shock or chill, because like chill is 3 maximum stacks, slow is 3 maximum stacks, things along those lines. You could even mix some of the ailments. One of the issues with a weapon is that you only have 2 prefixes and 2 suffixes. So if you want to have chill and stun and slow on your item, you can only really get 2 of those, and you'd rather seal a prefix for extra damage. So what if the exalted tier 6 chill chance also had, it would have like 70 chill chance and maybe 20 slow chance on it? And then what if you had your tier 6 slow chance where it has 70 chance to slow, and then it also has 20 chance to chill? So it kind of helps you fit in, 3 modifiers in a place where you normally only have 2 suffixes available on your weapon. Something like that. This idea has been bouncing around in my mind for a long time. Every time that I think about a good one, I've write it down on my sheet of what if exalted modifiers had this hybrid text on it. And now that we have this thing here, this new base crit bow attack speed prefix for our bows, it makes me think that maybe this could actually be a possibility. An exalted modifier having extra text on it Instead of just like endurance and then 20% endurance, what if your exalted endurance also had a little bit of endurance threshold on it? That's my question for you. I'll see you next time.